Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, and it's around 11:58 a.m., almost 12 o'clock on 25th of January, and looking at the wicks, and it's not looking great either. But as I said in my video yesterday, before I recorded the video a bit too early, but my point of view was, if I don't understand what's happening in the market, what's the point of doing any analysis? So I had mentioned to you that if there is any blip that happens in the market, everything is temporary because the trend is downwards until anything gets resolved. So I was really surprised yesterday afternoon when the shares started moving upwards, and I thought maybe I made a mistake, but surely enough the futures started showing late night, the futures started showing red, and this morning the market opened in the red. So I'll once again explain my opinion. My opinion is that as long as the issues that are present in the economy are not resolved, as long as the risks present in the environment do not dissipate, it's very difficult to believe that the shares have turned the corner. So tomorrow we'll have Jerome Powell's speech, and that will be at 2:30, and I think around 2 o'clock you will have the FOMC release a statement. So these two things are likely to be a catalyst for tomorrow. And yesterday I was expecting that a good result from one of the companies would probably give a positive sentiment, and it sure did happen, because if you remember, when I spoke to you last time, I had put an earnings calendar in front of you, and Monday was when IBM was supposed to report, and IBM did report excellent numbers. And what IBM chairman Arvind Krishna said was that we increased revenue in the fourth quarter with hybrid cloud adoption driving growth in software and consulting. Our fourth quarter results give us confidence in our ability to deliver our objectives of sustained mid-single-digit revenue growth and strong free cash flow in 2022. This is the kind of statement that will give confidence to the market, and definitely IBM picked up this morning, and it's in the green when I last checked. And in terms of results, they had a revenue of 16.7 billion, up 6.5%, and EPS delivered at 3.35 as against the estimate of 3.30. That is a surprise of 1.62%. Revenue of 16.7 billion was against an estimate of 15.69 billion. That's a surprise of 4.61%. So it's a good statement of confidence in the conference call. IBM said they are confident that their clients are not impacted, and that they do not expect the current market conditions to impact them much. So there was an analyst, I think it was from Morgan Stanley, who had a very pointed question about the impact of the current volatility and interest rate hikes on the clients. So IBM basically said that IT spending is critical for our clients. Recent volatility, not a concern unless it becomes an overall bear market. Clients are in critical applications, so not much cutback expected. Therefore, short-term cyclical impact is not expected. So this is the very, very clear vote of confidence from IBM about how their market looks ahead. But if you look at IBM and compare them with Apple and Microsoft, you'll realize that IBM was never trading at such high multiples like Apple or Microsoft. So we can give that. But overall, I think we need more of these kind of results, and we are going to get some today. We have Microsoft, and it's a big company to report. And if Microsoft does report good results, then we will see NASDAQ doing slightly better, because NASDAQ is lopsided. NASDAQ is heavy on these high-tech companies like Apple, Microsoft, and all. So if these companies perform well, I think that the index will be lifted. Because right now we are looking at a market that has already corrected, or more than corrected, if you take out Microsoft, Apple, and these big companies, because all the other companies are already down below their lowest ever in 52 weeks. So the only ones that are keeping the NASDAQ higher is these big tech companies. And if we get good results from them, I suspect that we're going to have a swell week ahead. Now let's take a look at the share market. Let's start off with VXN. The VXN is up 8.69%, and as you can see, this is a 4-hour candle out here, and this green candle shows that we are at the top out here at around 38.64. We had gone all the way up to 41.43 today before coming down to this level, and our MACD is roaring, and so is our RSI. So everything is looking very strong, and therefore it's going to have an adverse impact on our NASDAQ. And so here we have the NASDAQ, and we have this red candle in front of this green candle. So we have a support out here, which is at 13,329.77, and I'm sure that today we are going to test the support again. We tested it, I think, yesterday once on the 24th, and we are going to test it again today potentially, because the MACD is bearish, and the momentum is also sloping downwards, so it's not looking that great. And at this point of time, if we were to look at our biotech shares, we are likely to find a sea of red, which is what we found here. Pfizer is positive with 1.3% upside, and I have drawn this line out here to show it as a support. This line has been respected so far, so I'm expecting that when the price does fall, it doesn't fall below this. It can bounce off this support line. And I've also tried to find if there is any bullish or bearish divergence as an extra indicator to look at, because I'm at a loss of making anything out of this market, so I'm putting one more tool into the mix. So at this point of time, the dark pool also is showing positive momentum. Of course, though, there will be deep pockets who are buying at every weakness. But I don't worry too much about Pfizer, because they are a well-established company with a strong balance sheet and revenues. The companies I'm worried about in this market are the ones which do not have a strong balance sheet, or which do not have any revenue, or which are likely to have to dilute their equity, or which are likely to get into financial trouble because some of their pipeline failed. So those kind of situations are what I am worried about. So Pfizer, Novartis, and Johnson & Johnson, these kind of names do not worry me too much. But when it comes to CRISPR, I'm definitely worried. It's down minus 0.43%. And we have this line which is going down straight. So I wouldn't call this as a bullish divergence, but definitely the bearishness is not as strong for CRISPR. So I expect some amount of turnaround out here in the coming days, so that CRISPR may pick up a little more and start challenging the 66.36 resistance that we have here. So the MACD is indicating a positive, and so does the RSI. If I were to draw a line on the RSI, it will be the same. Novartis is down 1.02%, and we are below all our supports. So I'll have to draw some new supports here, which I will do. Let me do one of them right now. So this is not a support any longer, because it's already below, and this is the next level that I can see here. So this could become our next support right now. Later on, I will clean it up. I'll have a look at all the entire chart. This is a 3-month chart. So I would prefer to look at a 6-month chart and then plot more support lines and validate some of these support lines that I have drawn right now. So the MACD is looking bearish, and the RSI is looking bearish also. So I think the support that we have at around 83.65 has to sustain for us, and we may probably test the support again today before end of the day. Let's go to Vertex. Vertex is down minus 1.63%. That's around $3.74. And I have a line drawn out here which shows the support level off which the price has been bouncing off. So that is the line there. And I have also drawn a line under the lows of the RSI, and the RSI line is going down, whereas the price line is going up. So I would call this as a bearish divergence. So I would probably be worried that Vertex may lose some more price value as the days goes by until this pattern changes. So that's about Vertex. And as far as today's action is concerned, the MACD is bearish, and also the momentum is sloping downwards, so that's not good. Let's look at Regeneron. It's down 2.08% and currently standing at 608.54. Our latest resistance is going to be at 605.81, and right now we are at 608.54. So we have enough leeway to respect this support for the day. As far as the MACD is concerned, it is totally flat, so it's not giving any clues, and neither is the RSI, which is almost neutral. So I'm going to leave any comment on this because I'll be just speculating. Let's go to Bluebird. It's down 2.85%, and the MACD is crossing over to the signal line, and that could be a bullish sign out here. And when we look at the RSI, it's very weak, so that's not very good for us. Our resistance happens to be at 7.97. We are at 7.48. So I think that today, if the MACD's bullish signal comes out to be true, then we may probably check the resistance at 7.97, which would mean that we may end the day either neutral or probably green for Bluebird. Next, let us look at Editas. It is down 3.79%. The MACD is kind of struggling to become bullish, but not there yet. Neither is the RSI. RSI is also very bearish, and we are right now struggling against resistance, which happens to be at 18.20. And I think the way things are looking out here, probably we might end up with minus 2.5 negative by the end of the day. Let's look at ARCG, down 4.29%, currently standing at 45.96. It's below a resistance that is at 48.82, and it's got a support which is at 42.62. The MACD is crossing over the signal line, but not yet totally, but there is a potential bearish sentiment in the MACD, whereas the RSI is not yet picking up momentum. That aspect of the indicator is bad, so it's a conflict between these two, and I would probably think that we may have sideward movement today, and given the weak RSI, probably we may go a bit down rather than up, and we may end up testing 42.62 before the end of the day. I have IMTX, which is currently standing at 9.76, and it has got a support at 9.65. So this particular analysis is for Michael, one of our subscribers who had requested me about IMTX. This is a Germany-based biotech company, and I've just had a quick look at their balance sheet and their website and their pipeline. It seems their pipeline is very infant right now, and there is plenty of promise and potential. The balance sheet has around $320 million cash, if I'm not mistaken. But since the pipeline is all at early stages, I suspect that they may need to have some additional funding, and the funding can come in terms of collaboration. They've just entered into a collaboration with BMS, which has given them some money, and some other companies may also collaborate with them on some other pipeline item and give them some money. That's the best outcome. Otherwise, they may have to do some share dilution down the line. So these are the possibilities. So at this point of time, given the way the market is so negative and so risk averse, I would suspect that IMTX would be like catching a falling knife. So exercise caution, that's what I would recommend. I would personally exercise caution. I'll track IMTX, but I wouldn't be putting any money into it right now. Even if I am wrong and things start moving up, I'll have plenty of time to catch up at any stage before it goes back to wherever it was before. That was 15.48. So we have got around $6 of runway to catch up. So I wouldn't worry too much about missing out any opportunity on IMTX right now. Let's go on to Beam, which is down 4.99%. That is $3.39. And out here I have got a bullish divergence. This line out here, which tracks the lows of the RSI, when contrasted along with this line, which is tracking the lows of the price, and also acting as some kind of a support for the price. I can see a bullish divergence, and I would expect that Beam might pick up in the next few days. And right now we have a resistance which we are battling at 65.12, and we are at 64.60. So hopefully before the end of the day, we should be able to break above that resistance. Verve is also demonstrating a bit of slight bullish divergence, and right now we have a support for Verve at 29.72, whereas the price is at 30.01. So I would be really delighted if the MACD were to turn positive. It is currently tending to be bearish, but if it did turn around, then we would be able to stay above this support. Even if we miss this support, I'm hoping that this red line that I have drawn here, which has been with us since 13th of January, should help to provide some amount of support. So the lowest I think we may go today might be 29.34 or something to that extent, 29.16, somewhere in that region. Teladoc is down 5.20%, and again Teladoc has got a bullish divergence, so I would expect Teladoc to start moving upwards in the next few days, but there are no clues from MACD right now or from RSI as far as the intraday situation is concerned. Intelia is down 5.91%. Again, I have a bullish divergence for Intelia out here. It's a very tiny bullish divergence which has started on 13th of January. But right now we have a resistance out here, which is this red line, which has been coming with us since 28th of January and has provided support on the 27th and also provided support on the 6th of December, and then once more on the 14th, where you see that green candle which bounced off this line. But right now we are exactly on top of that line. So we have to end the day above that. If the bullish divergence is true, we will potentially end up above that line, and then our next resistance would be 87.07 for the following day. PACB is down to $10.04, and that is almost 6% down. We do not have a bullish divergence here, but the bearishness is kind of subsiding a little bit, and also it should, because if I take the all-time look for this share, we are almost very close to the bottom, and I think if we look at the bottom that we have here, we haven't been there since in this region since 2016. So 2016 is when we have been at this level, in my opinion. Before that, probably when this company was started, the initial euphoria of IPO, and then it fell down. So I think we are as low as we can get for PACB, but given the market environment and the fact that there are no monetized products, I think we should exercise caution and wait for everything to settle down. A couple of days of positive closings for NASDAQ will start to get my attention, and I'll become more alert to look at what I want to pick up. So that's all I got today, my friends, in this session. Thank you for following my videos. Thank you for asking about various companies and interest in this channel. I'm still looking at my subscription numbers for this channel. Our channel subscription numbers are not inching forward as fast as I would have thought. So I would like you guys, if you have not subscribed so far, please take the little 1 minute and do subscribe. It means a lot to me out here, and it will help us to get really good guests on for some in-depth interviews on CRISPR and ask them various questions and get points of view. So that's all I ask. And also one more word of caution before I leave. This market is unpredictable. Please do not take any risks in this market. Even if you lose an opportunity, you may probably get it again before shares go up. So the fear of missing out is what we should control. And even if you are tempted and you can't resist and you're going to do it, at least do dollar cost averaging, buy small nibbles at a time to average out your cost. That's what I would recommend. Again, these are all my personal opinions and not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. So that's all, my friends. Have a nice day. Until the next session, take care, be safe. Bye for now.